What's one thing that you personally can do to help heal the world right now? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's 5-Minute Focus.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. And what a great intro. What can we do? You know, it seems like every one of it, when I'm in circles talking, I do it myself. What they should do. What should happen. What should
I
happen.
see this. I wish they.
Yeah. How come they can be so dumb? How come, you know, it's like we got all the answers for what other people should do.
I can tell you exactly what's wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I could fix the country and I could fix all this chaos going on. But you introduce a great topic because really, there is one person we have control over. That is us. That is us. And we are not responsible for what other people do, but we are responsible, held accountable, and will answer to what we do ourselves. So what can we do? Great answer. Great question. What can I personally do to make a difference in this world in the midst of chaos, disagreement, political differences, hatred, all this stuff?
Everything that you think causes craziness in the world?
Yes.
What can we do?
What can we do?
Yeah.
You want me to say it or do you?
Go for it.
We can follow the instructions of James, a author in the New Testament. He happened to be the half-brother of Jesus. And for you Catholics, that means that he was, that Joseph and Mary had kids after Jesus. That's what we mean by half-brother. Anyway, he was a leader in the church in Jerusalem in the first century and stuff. And anyway, he writes some just incredible wise words. And he says this, and we've talked about this before, but boy, it's so pertinent for today. He says this, and he says three things. The first one is to be quick to listen.
What?
Wow. Be quick to listen. I wonder about myself sometimes, and I've been working on this, actually trying to understand other people's perspective. But that's something that doesn't come automatic.
No.
We have to learn to listen to the opposing opinions from our own. Listen to understand, not to agree with necessarily.
Not to be formulating my own defense and comeback. Because I'm quick to listen for that.
I'm building a comeback here. But to actually listen. But to listen with the purpose of, I want to understand your position. I want to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can enlighten us and we go, oh, never thought of that before. Or we can go, you know what? I understand where you're coming from, and that's just simply crazy. It doesn't mean it's going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
But at least it's a huge step.
Don't you think that's probably, we'll get into the other two things he says, but that first one right there, I think is the cause of so many, any hot topic issue, politics or otherwise, that is the one that people, when they ignore that one, they just get into trouble from there on out.
Yeah, I think anything, you know what, just as you said that, abortion came to mind. Very hot topic. And both opposing views feel very strongly about their view. Here's my question, wherever you are inside of the view, do you understand the other argument? Do you understand why people would feel that way? And I think that would solve a lot of our problems right there, especially if we're quick to listen. First thing we want to do is listen. Where are you coming from? And the second thing goes hand in hand. It kind of follows right along. And it's to be slow to speak. We have a word we use a lot around here, and that's
not literally slow.
I never thought of that. No, be slow with your response. And we have a word around here that we talk about a lot. It's called ponder. We talk about that a lot. How much wisdom and insight comes to us when we ponder? In other words, be quick to listen to somebody and then ponder it. Think about it.
Yeah.
I feel very
Don't make decision right away. Don't go with your gut emotional instinct.
But think about it for a while. Think about it. Let it sink in. I heard what you said, but now I want to understand it and let it sink. So I think it's great advice. Now just think about, we can do this in our lives.
Yeah.
We keep thinking about big, huge issues in our culture, but you know, those big, huge issues come down to individuals. And so what can we do, no matter where we are, no matter what we face? Be quick to listen, slow to speak. And then I think this caps it all off. The third thing you and I can do. And if we practice this, if we did this, we would change the world. We have the power of changing our world around us, and if that grows, it would literally change the world, because this lies at this last one is the problem of all of the hurt and chaos going on right now.
Yep.
And he says this, he says, be slow to anger. Then he goes on and explain why be slow to anger, because the anger of man never, ever brings about the righteous, the right things that God desires in our lives. Never. So when we get to that point, he says, be very slow to become angry, because when you blow up, when you are now making matters worse.
Yep.
Automatically.
Yep.
You're just making it worse.
And I think we've seen, especially in the last couple of weeks around our nation, how, not that, you know, there shouldn't be protests and voicing your freedom of speech, all that sort of stuff, but the anger that's come along with it has caused so many more problems than what originally, and hurt.
It just magnified.
Yep.
Nothing good. We all can admit this. Not one good thing has come out of people's uncontrolled anger.
Yep.
And they say uncontrolled anger is temporary insanity. As I watched videos,
that's what I see.
Even as I seen the police officer do that, I've seen, when people are reacting in uncontrolled anger, nothing good comes out of it. Nothing but destruction, and it's horrible. And it's temporary insanity. What people are doing is insane. They're temporarily throwing all rational thinking out, and they are insane in their action. That's what uncontrolled anger does. It does it on a big scale in our culture. It does it on a small scale in your home, at work, in our relationships,
in your own mind,
in our own. It's just nothing good. So these three things, you and I can actually make a difference and change the world, starting with our little world by just following these three things. Be quick to listen and understand. Be slow to respond or to speak, and be very slow to become angry.
So anyway, think about that this week. Put it into practice and see what God does through you.